You should be able to join now.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Denver Broncos. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Just a short time ago, sounds loud enough to reverberate across the Rockies. They're ready for football in Denver as the Broncos get set to do battle with the Cleveland Browns. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Godden alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They come into this one off a bit of a clunker last time out, a loss that ended their 5-game winning streak. Meanwhile, for the Browns here, they've been playing well, really well. Winners of 5 of their last 7, but losers last time out. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the Stanford man. It's Andrew Luck.
I love everything about Andrew Luck's game, but I also love his worldliness. Some of his formative years were spent growing up outside of the United States.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. The offensive starters now for the Broncos.
And the play of this offensive line is going to be so important in this game because we saw the sack a minute or so ago. They've got to be able to give their guy time to throw. That means communication and being physical is vital. Otherwise, this could be a long game.
This one complete to Theo Riddick. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up. For Kareem Hunt. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
They run on first down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming. He was brought down there by Will Parks. And a peek now at the offense for Cleveland.
And they come off a tough loss last week. And what's their reward? A second straight road game. Rarely are teams happy about scheduling. They're always calling the league office saying, how come we have this game and that game? But when you're coming off of a loss on the road and you go right into another one, that's a difficult task.
On 2nd down, it's Hunt trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. A look now at how Denver is going to line up defensively. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
Most of their challenges have come in the passing game because against the run, they've been pretty darn good. Now you've got to figure out a way to slow down those receivers before they get downfield and maybe make a few more plays on the ball when it's in the air.
And he's got his man. That's Landry. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, to have that dagger play, to have that play and just finish them off right now, because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On 1st down, they go right back to Hunt. And he'll go down at the 28. The numbers on the ground for Hunt a week ago. There was no answer for him defensively. Over 200 yards, 2 touchdowns to boot.
And that was a fun film to watch because a few of those runs, it was apparent he was just not going to be denied. And his team is hoping that that carries over to this week as well.
Now the 3rd leading rusher among rookies last year, it's Nick Chubb. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it.
And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Hey, box truck.
To throw, Mayfield. That's taken in by Callaway. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd. 9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. They'll try to run for the 1st down with Hunt. And he's got the 1st down as he gets it to the 8. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there, and I go right at them with another momentum play. I go quickly and attack them because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop him on 3rd down.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
33. Recon, 132 fighter.
Second down and goal. Mayfield. Flushed out right. Now he'll pull it down. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. Now Mayfield on 3rd and goal. Rolling to his left. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. Adam Gotsis, the Aussie, with a sack. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback, because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
They'll fake it. Now Locke. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Mack Wilson in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now Locke. And he hits his target, Deshaun Hamilton. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Locke. And that will be incomplete. And this passing game, his whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Here's Matt Weil now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. Todd Davis, the Broncos' leading tackler last year, up to make the stop.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people, because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers, because usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
The completion to Riddick. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 18 big yards on that one, and a Denver first.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. they become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down. Well, we talked about Phillip Lindsay so much last year, but it bears repeating. Undrafted in 2018. The Broncos would sign him in May, and that was a good decision. He would have a 1,000-yard season, 9 touchdowns en route to a Pro Bowl appearance. So from undrafted to playing in the Pro Bowl in 10 months, that's pretty clean living for Phillip Lindsay. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. Riddick with a carry. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Here's Riddick. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a first.
A little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
They'll run with Lindsey. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. They'll try the air now with Locke. And he's got it. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A touchdown saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal. The Broncos on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Here's Locke. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Jake Butt, his first touchdown on the year. And the Broncos have taken the lead. No surprise there. 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. We remind you that coming up later tonight, we've got a good AFC battle in Baltimore. The Super Bowl champs, New England, in town to take on the Ravens. And then tomorrow, Monday Night Football, the Cowboys and the Giants from MetLife Stadium to wrap up this first weekend in November. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Mayfield gives this one to Hunt. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. Phillip Lindsay and the rest of the offense heading back out. And he's had his chances in this game. He just hasn't been able to find any daylight so far.
Patience, patience, patience. And that's the hard part for a runner because they expect every run to be a big one for something to pop. So they have to sometimes go through the struggles before it happens for them later in the game. but you got to give credit to the rest of the team. They've worked around the fact that he hasn't had his normal big game.
Yeah, despite his struggles, still winning here in the second quarter. Now it's Luck off the bootleg. Got a man that's complete to Hamilton. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? That throw good for 4. It's second down.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
The Broncos on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, here's Luck. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll let it go deep for Beckham. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Andrew Luck and company heading back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of it. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down. On first down, Lindsey. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. A loss of 2 there, second down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
On 2nd and 12, Luck. He finds Riddick complete. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait in, enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
Well, I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeout. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Throwing is Love. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. Again, Luck to the end zone, but it's incomplete. Torrey Smith, the intended receiver. But it'll be 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Throwing again is Luck. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And back at the 8 now. 3rd and goal. Out of the gun, Luck. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Jeff Hireman, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos push further out in front. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision, because they do have the final call now.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. McManus's point after is good, and the lead is now 17-3. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down. Mayfield. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
To throw again on 2nd down. Mayfield. And that throw intercepted. It's Chris Harris, the Pro Bowl corner. Past the 20. And takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead is swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Fielded about a yard deep. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the 2nd half. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Mayfield off the play fake. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first.
They're not ready for this. They still playing soft.
Giving to the big tight end on fourth. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on fourth. Fourth and short, they had the ball right at the midfield stripe. Was curious what they were going to do. Turns out going for it, the good play.
Reminded me of a conversation we had yesterday before this game where you said, you know, it's interesting about the NFL nowadays. Oftentimes in short yardage situations, they throw the ball. In the old days, they would run it. That was an old school call right there. But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Mayfield got a man open. It's Ricky Seals-Jones. And they're going to have this way down deep in Denver territory. A big play that time for Cleveland. 42 yards.
They're still looking for their first touchdown of the game, and for a second, I thought they had it right there.
Looking on the sideline, it's finally good to see nods of approval. It's a welcome sign of life that this offense needed. And he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Browns make some inroads here on that deficit. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard and you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And that cuts the lead to 24-10. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
From the gun on third down, Locke. And he finds Hamilton. That's complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run. It's Lindsey. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards. Back to the 33. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
675.
53, Mike.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Love.
Oh my God.
And he's
Fuck, I didn't mean to hit square again.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 48-yard line. Now a carry for Lindsey. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Nick Perry able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Got a man open, it's Sutton. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 38-yard line. Sutton is part of a good young receiving core for the Broncos. They liked Sutton enough last year. They traded away Demarius Thomas, if you remember, halfway through the season. And Sutton, he responded. Rookie campaign, had over 700 yards, 42 catches for the man from Brenham, Texas, which is located halfway between Houston and Austin. Here's a quick throw caught by Smith. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It'll be a loss of a yard, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Love. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that's pretty symptomatic about how things have gone here. That play was just shut down right from the start.
And not going to give them a lot of confidence to help turn things around. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now this is Callaway on the receiving end. And he'll be out right at the 35. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Mayfield now.
Oh,
Lucky
man,
to
I
get
didn't
away
see
with one
that.
there. That one nearly
Damn it,
picked.
man.
2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, he's got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Now after the run by Hunt, here's 1st and 10. Mayfield now from the 50. He'll buy some time right. He's going to take off with it. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. On 2nd down now, it's Hunt. And he gets it down to the 32. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run. This is Hunt. A tackle made by Todd Davis.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Mayfield. They'll find his tight end, Seals Jones. A gain of 13. It's a first down. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Mayfield now looking to throw on first down.
Throw it, man.
Bradley Chubb doing what he does best, getting that sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
And with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And they'll get to him just inside the 15. Even after the strong run we just saw, they're able to corral him quickly defensively.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. And this is caught for a Browns touchdown by Landry. Jarvis Landry, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Browns get a score closer. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown.
Let's go. Let's go.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing at the receiver where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
Baker Mayfield, as a rookie, 3 times he led the Browns back to victory in the 4th quarter. What can he do here in year number 2? And he'll get this out to the 30-yard line. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They run with Hunt, and an alley to run. Now he's going to get this all the way down
out of here. He would have been gone, bro. He would have been gone, man. You know that, and I know that. He would have been out of here.
Bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. I still remember being in school. And one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot. Picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown.
Nick Chubb, let's go.
Nick Chubb with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game.
Well, let the natural light of today reflect that he is now getting into the end zone 2 times.
Look at you. You're a little Ralph Waldo Emerson, is that his name?
No, I was just going with the meteorologist. Said it was a day game. I'm here.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Andrew Luck now, he gears up to lead this offense again. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind, it's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes around him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Riddick. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Block on 3rd down. And that's caught by Smith. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
But now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. And that's complete to the tight end, Hireman. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and just like that, it's 3rd down. The Browns on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 5. On 3rd down, here's Hunt. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. Remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
On the ground, it's Riddick. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. They'll run here with Lindsey. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on.
Oh my God, no!
He completes this to Sutton. Solid gain of 18 yards and a Denver first down. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So they come up on second down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Would likely put an end to this thing. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. On second down, Freeman. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. 9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. The win for the Broncos seemingly assured. They go down to a knee. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This from 42 yards out. And McManus able to put it through. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. By the way, they've gone final now out in Carson. And it was the Chargers who were able to take home the victory in that one. Phillip Rivers, he was the story there with 4 touchdown passes. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Mayfield to throw. Now a desperation throw deep down. And oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Duke Dawson picks it. Well, that is going to seal this victory as time runs out. Well, we were on hand for a fun and entertaining game here, coming down really to that last play. Great job defensively to get the pick and seal it.
And we know that every play during a game matters. You're never sure which one's going to be one of the key ones. But at the end of the game, when you analyze it, 3, 4, 5 plays are going to be the ones you focus on. And that last play was one of them. The last shot had to take it, and they came up with the interception and sealed their victory.
Shut up, Gary, baby.
So for Denver, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they'll fall to 5-3 with a loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
No, was that? I saw the clock still running, bro. It did, man. Nah, I've seen. Yeah, we did. I'm telling you, it was random, bro.
Well, I hope so. I'm just saying, be careful of that because you don't want to waste your time up if you really don't need it.
It's still, I did that. That's still self-inflicted, man. I should have won that game.
What did you do wrong? I didn't even watch the beginning. I was on the phone.
They started stopping me running, so I just made a bad decision throwing it. And of course, I got picked off. And like,
one of the top playoff teams. You're in line for a wild card spot, man. You gotta start winning some games.
that's funny. My schedule this easier. I don't worry about it.
That's where you gotta go. You're gonna play at your home. Yeah, that was crazy. It was 3 losses, bro. Wow. They gotta fire Coach Christie, baby. What's gonna? No, I have firing turned off. They can't fire you. That's crazy. Yeah, I saw that. I was like, oh my god, they called that up. Running back right out of bounds. I thought it. I don't know. Yeah, it looked like he slid out of bounds, like he fell down out of bounds, you know? Oh well. But yeah, I always go like that, man. I trust my offense and my decision making more than I do the ability to stop another quarterback and put the ball in the computer's hands. I don't ever do it. It's like when it's like that, less time left. Because the thing is, even if you put the ball back in their hands, you're still up by 3. You stop them, it's only a field goal, and it would be a short field, so you get the ball back quickly for a touchdown. You see what I'm saying? So the chance, so even if the risk reward is actually on your side still, if you would go for that. But yeah, no, that sounds crazy. A lot of NFL coaches wouldn't do that, but that's all different. I would take that risk.
Yeah.
But it's me pulling the trigger with the quarterback too. In real life, when I do it, I don't know if I'm not the quarterback.